Hi, this is Laura Rogers with SharePoint 911, and today I'm going to show you how to do form validation in SharePoint 2007. So for example, what is validation? When you create a contacts list and you want people, when people fill it out, you want them to type in a certain, like an exact email address with, something at something.com. And when you have somebody type in a social security number, it has to be a certain number of digits in a certain pattern, and same thing with a phone number. So I'm going to show you today how to do that validation using a DataView web part in SharePoint 2007 and SharePoint Designer. So I'm going to go create, I already did a web part, a webcast on how to create that custom form in the first place. So in my webcast today, I'm just going to start with the form already created and show you just the part about the validation. So I'll put the link to the other video in case you'd like to watch that one. So first of all, I have a custom form that I've put on the page. First thing to do is to convert it from a list form field to a text box. So that's my email address. So I want people to type in an exact email address, so I'm going to set up the validation on it. So then I put my cursor next to the box, and I'm actually going to take a look at some SharePoint controls over here in this toolbox. So under ASP.NET controls, under validation, I have the validation controls that I need to insert. Now, if it needs to be a required field in SharePoint, if you already set it as a required field, changing it to a text box will actually make it so that it won't work as a required field. So you actually do have to add the required field validator in here for it to still work as a required field. So I'm going to go ahead and just double click that to put it in here. And then I'm going to, just next to the text box, I'm going to put this regular expression validator. So regular expression is a pattern that you use to say whatever's in this text box has to match a certain pattern. So first of all, I want to name my text box. So each field that I convert to a text box in this form, it's going to have a just little sort of numeric random number here in the ID field. I'm going to name it something that makes sense. So email text box. And then each of these validator fields just need to know what field they're validating and that it's the email text box. So when I click to select the regular expression validator, I just need to pick Control to validate as that email text box. Same with the required field validator, email text box. All right, and then the regular expression validator is the one that I need to set up and have a pattern that lets it know what entails an email address. So what is the validation expression? So I'm going to go to validation expression over here in my tag properties and find US internet email address. And there's the pattern for an internet email address. So I'm going to pick that pattern and click OK. And then the last thing that I need to change in the regular expression validator is the actual error that comes up when they type the expression incorrectly. So invalid email is my error message. Save this page, hit F12, which opens up a browser window. And now I can try it out and make sure it works. If I just type the word me, it tells me invalid email. Now I type a full email address and the error goes away. And when there's an invalid email address in here, it will not let me submit. It won't let me click OK. So there you go. That's how to do regular expressions validation in SharePoint 2007. And I wrote a blog post to go with this. And it goes into much more detail. It goes how to do phone numbers and zip codes and things like that. And there are actually a couple of tricks to it when you get to the phone number patterns. So go ahead and read my blog and have fun validating. Thanks.